Good morning, Senator.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you again, too. Thank you so much for your time. We always appreciate it. And we look forward to you sharing another abundance of information with our audience, which is primarily expats looking to relocate to Paraguay. Now, one of the questions that we're being asked a lot by foreign expatriates from America, from Canada, the European Union is, what can Paraguay do for foreigners to have more confidence in investing in this market here?
I think that the story of Paraguay is in the news. We have some not so good things, which is in the border with Brazil. But the border of Tijuana with San Diego is more dangerous than the border of Brazil and Paraguay. But people still like going to San Diego or Tijuana. I would recommend that people read about Paraguay. And I would recommend that people come to Paraguay as a tourist and feel it. Because Paraguay is a conservative, God-fearing country, very religious, although we don't behave, we're sinners, but we are very much the guardians of a conservative culture. Yesterday, Donald Trump said that the United States will recognize only man and woman. Well, that's in our constitution. So that reflects a little bit of our culture. So Paraguay is a country where you can find tranquility, providing you don't mess with other people, you don't bother other people. It's a very easygoing country to live and do business. Is it as developed as Europe? No. Is there corruption? Yes, there is corruption in Paraguay. We're trying to tackle it, but it's by far less regulations than certain parts of Europe that I know. You are freer. You can be more free here than in Europe or other parts of the world. And my recommendation is that they come and see it. Don't just read the bad news, because unfortunately in the world the good news don't get published.
100%. What the outlets want is to draw attention, and that's what they get with negative news. Now, another question that our audience is asking a lot is, like, Argentina is getting a lot of press, and oftentimes with Paraguay there is no good, neither bad press. It's like neutral. It's not getting any press at all. Now, when people think about Argentina, right, they think about a country that offers a great quality of life, that is very diverse. Now, what would you say, like, where is Paraguay better than Argentina? In what specific cases?
It's a very hard question, because I feel that in the process of development, Argentina has achieved certain development. In 1913, more than 100 years ago, Argentina was a top 5 economy in the world. Argentina is the only case of the first world going back to the third world. In that process, Argentina has incorporated a lot of good and bad practices. Argentina is very liberal. Argentina is very progressive. Milei is trying to undo that. Imagine the Argentinians are celebrating only 100% inflation last year when we had 4. And Argentina has taken already 16 zeros out of their currency when we have taken none in 80 years. It's not comfortable for me to speak about other countries. I like to speak about Paraguay. And I can say that Argentina is a great country. It's blessed with a lot of natural resources, but Paraguay has good people. I think that without comparing to the people of Paraguay are gonna make you feel at home. And when you go abroad, you wanna feel at home. So that would be my answer to that.
A lot of people say Argentines are intrusive.
I cannot speak badly about Argentina, because although they were part of a alliance that almost killed us as a country 150 years ago, Argentina has been haven for many Paraguayans who didn't have a job here. And we have to be thankful for that. And as part of that, Argentina has provided health, has provided education for many Paraguayans and their sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters. So Argentina has its problems, we have ours. We just want to concentrate on what we do well. And what we do well is being good people.
I think so too. And as someone myself who has traveled to a lot of countries in Latin America, in Europe, I also believe that Paraguayans are the most hospitable people that I've met. I would say in the Philippines, Paraguay, Vietnam, those countries have drawn my attention probably forever. Now, you talked about how it is impossible for people of the same gender to marry in Paraguay, correct? It's forbidden by the constitution of the country, right? In Spain, that's not the case. In Spain, if you're of the same sex, you're allowed to marry legally. Now, this is a big reason why a part of our audience wants to come here. Wokeism is spreading rapidly in Europe. It used to be more concentrated just in the cities, but now it's everywhere and it's getting more intense, right? So Paraguay, for Americans, Canadians, and Europeans, is seen as a very conservative country.
We are a very conservative country, not because we say it, but because we practice it. And if you want to allow same-sex marriage, we'll have to change the constitution. And I don't foresee that happening. So it's not that they're doing something terribly wrong. We respect their views. They can do it, but not in our country.
Right. Now, like I've pointed out, this is a big reason why our audience wants to come here. A lot of people are concerned about raising families in America, in Europe, where they are being confronted with wokeism everywhere. Events, just walking down the streets, it's everywhere. So in Paraguay, this is not the case. Now, I've been to a lot of places in Mexico, and Mexico, in a lot of parts, feels very similar to America. There is a small difference, if any. But here, I feel like there's a very big contrast between the West and I would say the old-fashioned West, Paraguay. A lot of our clients are coming here to find love. It's a big reason too, because dating, marriage has become very difficult in the West, in Western Europe, in America. The laws are insane in a lot of cases. Now, what would you say, is Paraguay doing better in this department?
It's a hard question because although we have to respect what others do, we want others to respect what we believe because it's part of our culture. Paraguay was rebuilt by women. After the big war, there was 90% of the male population was eliminated. We're dead. So it was our great-great-great-grandmothers who rebuilt the country. We are very much a culture that values what the grandma has to say. And we respect women not as an object, but as part of our family. The unifying glue of the family is the women in our culture. Having said that, we respect what others feel and what others do. I personally am pushing for a new piece of legislation that's going to be dealt with this year, by which gender ideology will be deemed child abuse and will be penalized. We are not going to allow the woke gender ideology to be taught and fostered in our schools, because they can do what they want when they are 18. But when they're 7 or 8 years old, you cannot tell John that she can be Mary if he feels like Mary. I mean, John at 7 cannot vote, cannot drink alcohol, cannot have a gun, cannot drive a car. Why would he decide on what gender he wants to be? Those are the things that we have to protect in Paraguay, and we will protect. So if you want a country that feels conservatism as the good way of living, this is the place. We don't fake it. We are like that.
I can feel that. So you don't see any changes happening in this department in Paraguay where you would say maybe foreigners should not come here because there are changes happening? I mean, you yourself now told me that you are pushing through with this new piece of legislation that will protect conservatism in Paraguay.
We'll protect children.
Do you see like any trend maybe from other people that are trying to reverse this trend?
The European Union. The European Union is pushing in all their corporations that we accept the concept of gender. And we accept the concept of gender provided it's man and woman. The European Union accepts 33 gender. To us, that's not understandable. It's not part of our culture and will not be accepted. Now, if you are born a man and then you want to decide you are a woman, good, do it when you are 18, 19. But don't ask me to recognize it by law. You can do what you want with your life. This is freedom. However, because you feel that this should be like that, the Constitution will not be amended to your liking. You have to accept our Constitution, but in here, gay couples can live freely. There's no problem with that. Only they're not going to get a certificate they're a couple married by law. That's it.
Thank you for your time.
You're very
I
welcome.
look forward to our next meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.